Good. All right. So, hi everyone. It is July 21st, 2025, and it's a beautiful summer evening. And it's like midsummer, if you can believe it. It's past in Minnesota almost, past midsummer, but grateful to have everyone here. Catch you up on what we had in our discussion where we don't record. This was the question. What is something you're weirdly good at? And for me, I would say my organization skills, multitasking. Some people shared remembering a lot of details. Some talked about whistling. Um, and there's a lot of great examples. So think about that question. I feel like it's a good follow-up to this better than yesterday card that I just pulled. I forgot to start the recording, so just going to give it to you quick for people that watch the recording, which I'm not sure if anybody does, but hey, why not record it, right? It says, give a compliment to someone you don't know. A small compliment can make someone's day and reminds you to compliment yourself. So we are sharing how a lot of people, like when we give a compliment to someone, they don't know how to receive it. And if they're surprised, right? Someone gave a beautiful example of somebody was making a call every week for a reminder of an appointment, and they gave them a compliment how beautiful their voice sounds. Um, so just those little things, right? It could be your look, your face, your smile. Maybe it's just your joy. Yesterday, we just got done with the music retreat, which was amazing, and I could see so much joy on people's face. People were giddy and playful and dancing, and it just felt like, yeah, the peak of beauty of midsummer, like some, fireworks, that whole summer blooming. Everybody was just it was gorgeous. So I hope to have the videos and photos out within the next couple weeks. And super grateful for anybody who came and people who sent well wishes. And I can't wait to show you, and you can watch the videos. But we had so many fantastic speakers and so many surprises too, that talents I did not know of other people, and people that just shared extra talents. And yeah, it was, the food was so good, by Costa Vida. So it was wonderful. Yeah. So thank you. All right. Next fun thing that I like to do is that cat photo, because I'm a cat lover. And let's see what we got. It says, don't let anyone call you picky. You are selective. So don't say you're picky, you're selective. And that's where we should be, right? With our attention spans, what we want to focus on. And one last reading, which I think is fun. I love this book, The Book of the Awakening. Super easy read and inspiring for sure. So for today's date, July 21st, which is on page 239, if you have the book, I'm just going to kind of give you the quote. It says, revealing who you are. No bird can fly. And a lot of people were talking about birds earlier, so I love when that rhymes or, matches. So, no bird can fly without opening its wings, and no one can love without exposing their heart. That's a nice one. I think Mark Nepo wrote that because he didn't give any description of who, so he wrote that. No bird can fly without opening its wings, and no one can love without exposing their hearts. So that's a beautiful poem that I can think of. Something to resonate. See if that feels true for you. I want to spice it up a little bit instead of going into a song right away. Let's go into some movement. And I'm gonna. My chair is kind of more clunky today, so I'm gonna stand, even though I am tired from uh, this weekend. But it was a wonderful weekend. I'm gonna turn the camera a little bit lower so you can see. So if you're able to stand, if not, if you're in a chair or if you're in the car, just a nice upright posture. I always like to get ourselves grounded, feet flat on the ground. If you can touch the ground, pelvis in alignment with the hips and shoulders. So just tightening the pelvic a little bit, tightening up the inner muscles, and also softening muscles at the same time. Shoulders are back, tongue is at the roof of the mouth, and the chin is tucked in. So feeling a nice relaxed posture. And let's do some nice gentle hands rising up and then slowly coming down and looking at the floor. So gently rising up the head and hands rise and gently looking down. And let's do that one more time. And now we're going to add on to that. We're going to bring the hands up and then we're going to open up to the sides. Hands come back and look down. Let's do that again. Hands rise, open, come together, and look down. Let's do that one last time. Opening, hands coming together, and down. And I'm going to do another variation. Hands rise up, heavy elbows, tuck in the chin, pushing out, and looking down. And let's do that a few more times. So maybe you can do this in the chair pretty easily, tucking in the chin, pushing out, or visualize this and do this later if you're driving. And let's do that one more time. Tucking in the chin, nice lengthening of the back of the neck, relaxing the chin and looking down. All right, let's gently do painting the rainbow. So if you can, you lift the hands and you pivot your toe to the side, bring the hands over and look to the other. Shifting the weight to the other side, hands going above, and it's called painting the rainbow. I was just listening to some interesting podcast or show that's saying that when the rainbows occur, they're 180 degrees. I don't know if that's true or not, but I always just think of them, going above like 90 or whatever that is. So gently shifting the weight, pivoting, hands go to the other side. And let's do that maybe one more time each side. We might have done more than 3. And then slowly bring the hands down, nice and slow. I always like this one, hands reach up, go over the head, turn the torso, hands come down, palm faces the earth. Now this one reaches up, goes over, and gently come down. Hands go up. I think I always like this one because I just feel a nice stretch. It's also very calming for the nervous system. This is tracing along the gallbladder meridian, which is known to help your, nervous system in Chinese medicine. Hands reaching up, going down, bending the knees. And one last time each side, gently pulling up, going down, and the other side. All right, nice. Let's do some just simple gather cheese 1 to 3 more times. I know some of you are in a chair, so I've been focusing more on the hands versus the legs and torso. But I'll just do a little bit in the legs one more time of gathering chi. All right, and then bringing it to the center. Bringing your feet in a V if you can, hands by your fist. So if you're in a chair, you can just lift one foot, opposite leg, bring it back in. Let me go further back so you can see my feet. Gently tap or extend the foot very low and do the opposites. If you're in the chair, just, lifting it out, kind of getting some movement. If you're standing, you sink into that soft knee, sink into that soft hip, and extend out. So if you find this hard for your balance, some things to think about if you have no health issues. If you have health issues, go see your doctor. That's important to work on your balance. But sometimes it's the softness. Some people don't know how to soften into the hips. it takes many, many years to feel that. So it's one thing to, right? I usually have my feet at a slight V, which helps me do this better. But if I have soft knee, right, that's a lock knee, soft. Soft hip would be, straight hip would be straight on. Soft is at a slight angle, especially as I put all my weight in this foot. My body's gonna be pulled in that direction because I got soft knee, soft hip. So that helps me lock in. I can stay here. I got my balance. Then I can bring it back in. So some things to try. If you're driving, then you can't. But I know those things help me. Sometimes just lifting the foot is all you do. You don't have to extend the knees. So just tapping is the safer way. So I want you to be safe. Safety is number one in everything that we do, right? I want you to be safe. So just tapping, and let's do that one more time each side. Good. And the other. All right, let's do some other hip movements, which too much, it's not enough time to do any Tai Chi movements, but let's just do one more, opening up the hip area and doing opposite. So this is just, one hand, opposite leg, pull it back in, and opposites. I just noticed I have a bench here. I usually have the bench by the keyboard over there, but I can see my daughter has been in here. So, all right, just gently opening up the hips. And let's do that with two hands if you're feeling challenged. And then the other side. And then let's do that a few times. And then we'll call the movement part good for today. And one more, each side. And the other. All right, and let's bring it back in. Nice thing to do when we end a movement is some people like to put their hands at the center of their belly. Right hand first, if you're a female, identify as female. Other hand on top. And just having it kind of by your belly button. If you can go lower, but for me, my arms are shorter. This is what feels comfortable on my arms. But they say if you can have the, the palm face like 3 inches below your belly, that's a nice place to, feel the warmth, send the intention, the warmth in your hands, right? They might be warmer, more softer. And then massaging along the belt meridian and then down. That is another way of ending. Some people just, let go, right? And to send the energy. Some actually send it along their body and down. So that's kind of a nice little send off to that nice movement set that we just did. So for the next part, I'd like to do some vocal warm-ups. So today I actually had a great meeting of vocal warm-ups with my occupational therapist. Highly recommend her, Lisa Butcher. She's with the University of Minnesota Lions Clinic. It takes like a year to get in to see her, but I have hypermobility issues, which can affect my vocal cords. They do affect your vocal cords. So I can get more fatigued, longer. And what I learned from her today, she said that there's the two main things. We talked about singing and movement at the retreat when I did a 15-minute talk. But she talked, and we talked about breath a lot, but she was bringing up that the tongue is really important. So I don't know, some people are like maybe theater majors, they probably know that vocal expression, but she was saying a lot of the back of the tongue. So she gave this vocal exercise, and I'll show it to you guys. It's singing happy birthday, but with the tongue touching the bottom of your teeth and trying to work the back of your muscles of your back of your throat, which I've never experienced that before my whole life. So we'll give it a shot a few times. I was like, I had never tried trying to like flap that muscle back there. So maybe some of you have tried it. Yeah, the question, is there anything, or I can always look at it later. Um, yes, is there anything you can to move extra if you're anemic? For Tai Chi and Qigong, um, they would just say overall that body movement is good for, health issues because it's moving chi, right? But for the vocal exercise, there's not one, I've heard there's some things for blood pressure, for blood sugar. I've heard that. There's some hand qigong routines. There is a nice booklet that Chunyi Lin wrote from Spring Forest Qigong, and I could look at that booklet for that. And yeah, let me look and see if there's anything on anemic, which he kind of did both, which is kind of fun, but it would just be a specific movement. But overall, they say Chinese medicine, they just kind of view that all illness is a disconnection of, or like the chi is stuck. So when the energy is stuck, that's when we get blockages. That's when we have health issues. So with the softness and the contour, flowing movement, we're moving chi. So that's kind of the Chinese philosophy. That's what the needles are doing. They're trying to get the blockages going or balance them, right? You might have too much water or energy, chi flowing in one area, not enough in the other. So trying to just circle and balance all that stuff out. So yeah, um, good question. Thanks for asking. All right, so the vocal exercise. So put the tongue at the back of the mouth, um, and we'll just sing happy birthday and try to see if you can notice the back of the throat moving. So, I feel it in my throat back there. I can kind of feel like my throat inside trying to work, like to squeeze out that sound, which I've never felt that before my whole life. So let's do that like 3 times and see how that feels. So 2 more times. Which for me, it felt like a lot of muscles to use right there. And we'll do it one more time, just and then we'll actually maybe sing it with like normal and see if it feels a lot easier. So one more time. So that's a nice little warm. She also had me do warm-ups. I want to try to remember, but trying to also send the energy through your nose. So making like just partially blocking your nose, not 100% blocking your nose, but partially, and just try to make a constant a sound like you can feel it kind of go up and over, and I can even feel the pressure in my eyes, just a partial blockage, so you can still breathe, but like me, or we, whatever you want to say. We, I like we. It's been fun lately, right? Life has been really fun. We, or because now that I'm not going through my nose. And now let's do the knee or knee. Knee. So I don't know if you felt you went up and over. Hopefully you can feel that. Knee. So just kind of going up and over, creating more spaciousness, more of a vibration here. So I can just feel after a while of practicing, which I highly recommend. But of course, only do it if it's comfortable. If it hurts, don't do it. Um, some other point things is she was talking about like putting your fingers here to see the puckering versus the vibration lower. Um, I forget what sound it was though, but it was like just like making sounds more from here versus here. So like maybe I'm trying to blank. Maybe it's like, but yeah, I'm trying to remember what word it was, but it happened this morning, so it's too. But I'll do that next week. I'm blanking out what that other one is. Um, but she also had me instead of like just more vibrations coming from here, like doing it here. Let's just make up the word om. Let's see, and then try it with just with not touching your face. And then squeezing your cheeks a little bit. Um, you might feel it here more. Compare it, without om, And so trying to get it more here. Um, Yes, you love watching me. It's yeah, being yourself, right? And have it's okay to make those weird sounds. But vocal, this little I never realized how important. So she even said also as a tip, and of course I'm not a medical doctor, I'm just relaying good information about how to strengthen our singing, right? Sticking your tongue out and singing happy birthday. So we could try that as well. Happy birthday to you. But it helps that tongue that's tight back there, which I think I have that problem as well. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Janet. Happy birthday to you. That's hard, isn't it? I kind of feel like, it's tiring, but give that a try. Maybe two more times just for fun because it's funny and I look really funny doing it, right? So, happy birthday, happy, happy birthday, so and so. Happy birthday to you. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, let's do it one more time. Make it, get really into it. Feels weird, doesn't it? Yeah. Some fun activity to do with people that love theater or, music and singing. Has anyone ever done that before? You can wave your hand if you have. These are some new stuff I've never seen before. But I've only started doing vocal stuff once in a while for the last year. Highly recommend it. If anybody feels like they struggle with vocal fatigue, I never knew that there was such thing as an occupational therapist for your voice. I did not know that until a few years ago. So highly recommend it. All right. So okay, as far as songs, let's do an easy song. I did teach it at the retreat, but I don't think I taught it, but I'm trying to remember what I taught last week. Um, but I know it's a simple song that it's be what is it? Be Open. So, and that's by Debbie Nargi-Brown, which we sang twice. So everybody should almost have it memorized who went to the retreat. So it goes, be open for something wonderful to happen. So now your turn. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibilities. Be open for the possibilities. So all together. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. Again, be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. And the second part is Aiye, 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 Aiye. Aiye, 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 aiye. So back to the beginning. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. Aye, 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 aye. One more time. I'd like sets of threes. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open for the possibilities. Aye, 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 So yay! Love seeing your energy. Thank you. I hope you like that song. And I feel like that was a great song for yesterday because there were so many fun things. And like some people were twinkling like, bells above their heads like fairy dust. It was just so much fun at the retreat. Yay! Yes. Oh, yay. So grateful. Well, good. So thank you for liking that song and singing along with me. Maybe let's go into a quick meditation. I know a lot of people like the lymphatic massage. Give a thumbs up if you want the lymphatic massage, just so I know how long to have the meditation and I can lead into it. If you don't care, let me know too. So I got a thumbs up. Okay. Let's do the lymphatic massage. So we'll do like a quick 7-minute meditation and leave 5 minutes for that and a quick checkout. All right, so getting comfortable in your body. If you want to sit, stand, lay down, listen to your body. What is it good in this moment? And take a nice, shallow, deep breath, nice and slow, like you're breathing in through a straw. And then slowly exhale, like you're exhaling through a straw. So bringing the body down after all that fun upbeat song. I really love that song. It's such a good message too. So nice breathing. You can also imagine breathing through a straw through your nose if it's breathing into your mouth is kind of weird. So breathing nice and slow and slowly exhale. And let's do that maybe 2 more times for a set of 5. And one more. So welcoming into your body, into this moment as we settle in, reflecting back on the words that we talked about earlier today. I always like to bring them into our meditation as well. I feel like that's really fun since every time we meet, it's slightly different. So, welcoming things that are just oddly different about you. We talked about things that you're good at, but I also want you to welcome things that maybe you're average and weirdly good at, or average and weirdly bad at, perhaps. And accepting that wild and weird and fun part of yourself and accepting wherever you're at with it. So I know for me, it's my voice. I struggle sometimes with the pitch and the vibration because of health issues. And I weirdly accept that this is my voice. And I like my body and my voice. So maybe there's something about you that you maybe don't. Maybe it's something in your arms or your limbs. Maybe it's your face, your skin. There's something I'm sure we all could probably would want a little bit better, but weirdly accepting that it's good, whatever is happening in our bodies and our spirits and our lives that maybe is weird. I can tell you I had a weird day when I came back from an appointment. I tried to merge into a lane and there was a car and I missed it. I'm like, okay, I'm going on a different freeway. And then I had that experience multiple times, about 3 or 4 times driving home, which to even have that happen once where you're trying to get and it's just not safe. So you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, forget it. I just didn't make it in time. I had that happen 4 times driving home, which I wasn't on the phone either. So I don't know, right? Sometimes the phone conversation can do that. So um, accepting whatever is happening that's weird in your life um, as something that's good and open, and it's taking you in the right direction. That it's just a different view, a different path, and it's beautiful wherever it's taking you. And you don't have to make a fuss over it. So our quote with the cat was, "Don't let anyone call you picky. You are selective." So knowing that whatever is weird about you is not a bad thing, it's a good thing, and we embrace whatever that is. And it kind of correlates very beautifully into our compliment or the better than yesterday, which is to give a compliment to someone you don't know. And by doing that, you hopefully can give a compliment to yourself. Sometimes people are mirror images of ourselves, right? So if you see somebody's beautiful eyes, perhaps you have beautiful eyes. Um, right? If you see the joy in others, it's your joy, that you can see in yourself. So noticing the kindness in others. So try to challenge that yourself. Maybe you can do it once every time, every day, but if you don't see a stranger that day, maybe just aim for once a week and it could be a stranger on the phone as a beautiful example. So I invite you to accept all these weird, beautiful things that are happening in your life and what is going on, and knowing that it's just good and it's beautiful, whatever's happening. And I'm going to go to the quote that we got with Mark Nepo for July 21st. No bird can fly without opening its wings, and no one can love without exposing their heart. So using that image of a bird, right, opening their wings, where are you opening your heart to love? And maybe we can send that love to that weirdly good parts of ourselves and the weirdly odd parts of ourselves. So not bad, but it's just odd, right? Things that we may think could be better, but maybe aren't as good as we want. Where can we open our heart to love, like a bird opening its wings? So I'm going to have a few moments of silence so you can reflect on that. Maybe you can see that beautiful bird image flying in the air. Maybe you're in Duluth and you're watching the seagulls flying and how they trust the air, right? They're soaring. They're trusting the air mass floating on the air. So just taking a moment of silence and just noticing. Hopefully you see some imagery of birds flying and trusting, opening their wings, and finding ways that you can trust and open your heart, letting yourself expand and trust. I just had a recent beautiful experience with the meditation retreat, the music retreat. Last year it was meditation retreat. This year it's a music retreat. But the beautifulness of opening my heart and having other people open their hearts together, it was just so much joy. We're singing in unison, drumming in unison, trusting that flow of life, like the birds trusting the air to glide, to get you where you need to go. So accepting things that are weirdly good and odd about ourselves and others by giving compliments. We can slowly imagine coming back to our bodies of the imagery of the birds. You can slowly rub your fingers gently at the fingertips, just becoming aware. Or if you prefer, you can gently rub your leg pants, your thighs, and you can rub a little bit bigger or your whole hands, whatever feels good, if it's your hands or your thighs. And I like to gently rub up the nose, around the face, making a beautiful heart shape. Where are we opening up to love? And one more time. All right, so there was a request to do the lymphatic massage. So have a scarf handy if you can. And you can make do with anything, imagine. But we're going to gently do the breathing 6 times at the top. Gently breathing in through our nose. Having gentle, gentle pressure. It feels like an ant crawling on you. It's so gentle. And then nice exhale. Really engaging that diaphragmatic breathing so we can work the lymph system. And then gently exhale. Doing that again. Three more times. And one more time. Letting that go. Gently go down our face, leading to our clavicle. Doing that 5 times. And one more. Going over the ears, starting at the top of the head, going to the clavicle. And one more. And behind the head and going to the front of the clavicle. This is when I usually mess up my hair pretty good. Or you can comb through your hair. So it's time for the ponytail to come out. Okay, there we go. All right, now let's sweep behind underneath the ears, going to the same clavicle side and to the other side. And now it's the chest. So going over and up and over. You can have your arm down. It's too much cloth, but just gently sweeping. It's not much pressure. And then gently over. If you're a female, they say go under and over. Or anybody that has extra tissue. And then we can do the clavicle or the chest area, the same side, or the sternum. That's the word I'm looking for. Up to the clavicle. And now the other side. So gently sweeping around. And one more time, and then up and over. Just very gently. And I heard if you can do this 3 times a day, it's ideal. I usually just do it once a day. And then let's do that sternum. But if I'm feeling really fatigued, I'll do it more often. So the day of the retreat, I did it like several times in that morning before the day happened. Try to give me more energy. So now we get that scarf. We can go up between the shoulder blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which for me, it feels like it's barely any pressure, but it's supposed to be good. So one arm behind. Um, and if you have someone who's there and you don't have a scarf, they can just kind of gently swipe up on your back 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, the gentle upward motion. Oh, good job. And then gently going down behind the ears to the clavicle. All right, good. So that is the parent technique, which is really great for the lymphatic system. Anybody that has chronic fatigue syndrome or long haul COVID, it's been really helpful for a lot of people. So anyways, I want to draw this wonderful meeting together. I'm so glad that we were able to connect. And I want to stop the recording, but the people can share how they're feeling, what they liked or didn't like. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we meet next week. Thanks.